Welcome, Romans, Romans, Romans. I know you're not actually Romans, you're studying Roman art and architecture, but I like to call you guys the Romans because, I don't know, it's just more fun. I'm Dr. McKay, and half of you had me before, and half of you are probably now thinking, oh my God, what have I gotten into? But welcome to the class, AHY 2209, Roman Art and Architecture, ancient Roman architecture. Um, we are starting our class online, and I wanted to explain a little bit what that means. I've already written it to you, but I thought I'd do a little welcome video also, since that's one of the best practices in online teaching, which I have been learning about since 2013 before we had to learn about online teaching. And I was part of a 2-year consortium of teaching humanities classes online, and they did a rigorous assessment of the students that took classes across, let's see, 20 times, I don't know. It was a lot of classes, 20 institutions, 2 people teaching. So I don't know. I can't do the math in my head. I'm thinking about Roman art and architecture. Anyway, um, during that 2-year consortium, there was a rigorous assessment of students who took the classes in that time frame. And one of the things that they said overwhelmingly over and over again was that they really appreciated the asynchronous format because it allowed them to do the work when they needed to do the work, and balancing work, their own jobs, their family obligations, and just everything else that you all have going on. So I will never teach by Zoom. I will never teach by Teams, because I know how to set up a class that makes you feel connected to the professor and each other, if everybody does what they're supposed to do, and still has deep learning and engagement for the students. I know it's not the same as the online experience, or excuse me, the in-person experience, but there's sort of like they're apples and they're oranges. So you can't necessarily try to make them the same fruit because they're not. So anyway, we'll be online, no Zooming, no teaming. Everything is asynchronous, at least for the first week, and we'll see what the second week has in store for us. We have, if you look at the Blackboard class, there are 6 modules. Well, actually, I don't have them all turned on because I don't want to overwhelm everybody. So module 1 is open, but there will be 6. One is a reacting to the past game. So fingers crossed we'll be in person, because trying to do them online is really hard. Reacting is definitely a face-to-face educational experience. Trying to duplicate that online is really difficult. I've tried. And if we have to, we will, but it's just really hard to make it work as well. So you'll have a variety of types of assignments. You'll see them if you go online and look at the syllabus. If you look at the stuff that I have written, you'll get a sense of what you're going to be doing. But what I really wanted to emphasize right now today is that you will need to be doing discussion boards this week and learning journals this week, and you must do some of that work before Friday, because the school has to follow federal regulations, and part of that federal regulation is a roster verification. And when classes are online and they're asynchronous, like this one will be, just logging into the class does not equal participation. And it does not equal attendance. You have to do something in the online space for it to count as attending. So in order for me on Friday, the first Friday and the second Friday of the semester, to mark you as attending, you have to do something. So just logging in, which I can tell, and I do check in to see who's doing nothing. And usually you'll get a little email from me going, hello, don't forget about me. But in any case, you have to go on and do something. So I would suggest that you do a learning journal. Learning journals are going to be a required part of this class, even when we're back to face-to-face learning. The reason for that is sometimes in a classroom discussion, there's 25 of you, and in 90 minutes, I might not be able to hear from everybody. And I have to be honest with you, last fall, I really missed hearing from everybody. And I had a class where not everybody would participate, and I really wanted their thoughts. And I didn't have an online discussion board to kind of finish up with the discussion we started in the classroom. And so I've added that because I really missed hearing from everyone. I was just like, I just can't stand it that I don't know what so and so thinks. So that is something you're going to be required to do all semester. This first week, it's all we have is online. But even when we're face to face in person, there will be a continuation of the discussion board after the in class discussion of whatever we're talking about, whatever I've cooked up for the day. And you also have learning journals. There are no exams, you're welcome, in this class. And usually it is the exam where you reflect on your learning because you're cramming and you're trying to remember everything you've been taught. And since we don't have that kind of assignment, it is even more important that you take time to just jot down in a learning journal online, what are you learning? How are you learning? What is interesting? What's confusing? What's stupid? What's happening in your life that might be impacting your learning? You can literally write anything in your learning journals, but they need to not be on the same day, and they need to be 2 a week. 2 per week. Modules are usually longer than 1 week. So it's 2 per week, not per module. Got that? And a lot of students feel like these are just like worthless and like they're a pain in the neck. And on some of my evaluations, I'm like, I still don't understand why we had to do these. Because first of all, it's a way for me to connect with you one-on-one in an online class. That's really important because I get to hear what you're thinking and hear what's going on in your life and comment back and maybe ask you some questions and, just have a conversation when I can't see you face to face. But even when it's face to face, again, there are things that are happening. There are things that you might still have questions about, and it's a place for you to do that. I cannot always, like, who wants to come all the way over to my office for office hours, which by the way are on Wednesdays when we're in person, and by Zoom while we're online. You just email me if you want a Zoom link and I'll send it to you. But it's just easier, and I just want them to be on different days so that you're getting in the habit of, I just watched this video. I want to leave a learning journal about this. So if you're writing in your notebook, writing notes, which you should do because the stuff we do in class is going to be dependent on what you're reading and what you're watching and what I'm talking about in the module. All right. So there's going to be some stuff online, even when we're face to face. This week it's all online, but Blackboard's going to be a big part of our semester, even when we go face to face. And I have to lift you all up for a second. All right. This is the one book that you'll have to buy. It's called Daily Life in Ancient Rome. And you're going to be reading certain chapters from it, especially the first couple weeks of the semester, because I really want to talk about how the city functioned as a community. And I really want to focus on what daily life was like for all Romans, not just the rich people, not just the emperors. And this book is really foundational for that and has a lot of good stuff in it. So I hope it's like readable and it isn't like a drag. It should be pretty good. And I don't have the chapters in order. You need to look on the syllabus and the modules for what chapters to read. But read them for class. I'm not going to be going over them in class, but we will be using information in them to build on it with the images that we're going to be looking at. Okay. If you have any questions about the class or anything I just said that you're like, what? You can watch this again. Or you can email me, GMckay, GMCKAY, @mcdaniel.edu, and I'll answer you. Or leave a learning journal entry. I'll answer there too. All right. I'm not used to talking. I've had several weeks off, getting choked up here. I look forward to seeing you all in person. But until then, I look forward to getting to know you in our Blackboard class. So take it easy, take care, be safe, and we'll see what the later semester brings in terms of our in-person meetings. But until then, enjoy.